Hi everyone, Vikas here again. Vikas, your wisdom coach. Because we are going to look through this time that we are going through now through the eyes of wisdom, through a mind of wisdom. Because wisdom is the stabilizer of life. And we are going through a stormy time, so we have to stay stable through these times. Reminds me of what Winston Churchill said during World War II. He said, if you're going through hell, keep going. There's a lot of wisdom in that. It's a great quote. If you're going through hell, keep going. He was leading a country that was being battered every day. It was being bombed, the blitzkrieg was going on, and frankly, they didn't have enough resources to be able to carry on fighting. So they were in a very down, negative state. And he came out and he gave this very strong, positive message to people. And practically, if you look at it, if you're going through a bad time, what options do you have? Well, one option is to give up. And if you give up, you lose already. Another option is to keep yourself in a fighting mode, but mentally fighting what's happening around you. This is called denial. And remember this, okay? Words of wisdom for you. Whatever you deny, you cannot cure. If you are in denial, you cannot ever come into a state of healing or profit from that. So we don't want to fight what's happening around us or to us. Another option is that we actually learn to fight to create the positive outcome we want. And this is called a response. We actually take action to create what we want at the end of this game. And that's what he meant when he said, if you're going through hell, keep going. So today's message for you is this: if you're going through a difficult time, keep on going. We are going through a difficult time. We all know that our businesses, our families, our relationships, even our personal health, our personal wealth may be under pressure. I'm sure it is like that for many of the people out there. The clients that I coach on my private coaching, my VIP clients, and I know that their businesses are under pressure. Their personal wealth is under pressure. Some of them are having health challenges, and I'm there to coach them. And one of the things I constantly tell them is we have to keep moving forward in a positive manner. If you are going through a difficult time, keep going and keep going positively. Now, that's my message to you today. But on the other hand, I want to give you a completely different perspective also to keep in mind. Remember, from now on, we are going a little deeper into wisdom. So my intention here through these videos is to coach you, to bring you to a higher state of life, a higher state of evolution, a higher state of thinking, so that at the end of this challenge, at the end of this time, we are a different person, a more evolved person. So here's a different perspective from the eyes of wisdom. You know, if you put on the news, if you listen to the radio, if you pick up the newspapers, everywhere there's negativity. There's a lot of pain and suffering and people dying. And this is true. This is true. But you know, from another perspective, when you look at it from the eyes of planet Earth is smiling at the moment. The birds, the fishes, the trees, the forests, the jungles, the animals, billions of them, are actually smiling at the moment because the earth is cleaning up, the earth is resetting, the earth is rebalancing. The only people suffering are human beings, no one else. Animals, birds, fishes, plants, what's under the sea, what's in the air, it's all smiling. I mean, if somebody's looking down from space, they're smiling because everything is now becoming better. But we are suffering, and there's a lesson in that. So coming into our next videos, I want you to understand that this is really, from the eyes of wisdom, it's a karmic evolutionary event. Remember these words of mine, it's a karmic evolutionary event. This world that we live in, this life that we are leading, works on certain principles, and I'm going to go deeper and deeper into that. But here's a very simple, nice lesson for you to take away. Why is it a karmic rebalancing event? So let me give you a very nice story. You know, outside on my balcony, which I can actually see right now and all the trees behind, there's a very long flower pot, right? I mean, the whole balcony, the length of the balcony is created into a long flower pot, really, I call it. And it's like a mini garden, but you can put a lot of plants there. And we have a number of plants. And I remember something happened a few years ago, and it really gave me an aha moment. So I had been watering the plants and taking good care of them, keeping them clean, keeping them pruned, keeping the weeds away, and sort of giving them love and nourishment. And then one day as I woke up and I looked out of the balcony, I noticed that there's something different there. There's some movement in those plants. So I'm wondering what it is. So I went out to check. And you know what I saw? An amazing thing. In the middle of those plants, there's a nest that's been created in the past couple of days. And in the nest, there are 3 eggs. Wow! And on those 3 eggs is sitting a mummy, a mother pigeon bird. And when I went out, she looked up at me because she was obviously scared that, maybe I caused her some harm. But I didn't. I sent out a very positive, very loving intention. And I showed her, I gave her the clear indication and the vibe that I have no harm. I only have love for her. In fact, I'm very happy with what she's doing. And when I saw that, it was just a beautiful, beautiful experience to see her looking at me, sitting on those eggs, and to see me giving her that intention. I just felt so good. And I walked in with a happy thought, and then I went out actually and I put a little bowl of water next to her so that she could drink whenever she wanted. And she let me do that, amazingly. But here's the question I have for you. Today is a big wisdom lesson. How did I bring those birds? How did I bring that bird and that nest to my flower pot? I didn't. Yes, I did. I didn't. It happened by itself. No, I did. There are 2 different perspectives. Here's the real answer of wisdom. I didn't make it happen directly, but I made it happen on a deeper level. Here's what happened. I created the conditions for that mother pigeon to pick my flower bed and make her nest on it. I made sure it was green. I made sure it was populous. I made sure that there was, bits for her to eat there. And I made sure it was a safe, secure environment. And therefore she decided, and she came and she built her nest and she laid her eggs and she was sitting there. So here is the lesson for you. I created the conditions for that beautiful event to happen, even though directly I didn't do anything to call the mother bird. And that's what you need to understand. Karma is a very deep law, and it's a law of life. And you will learn a lot about karma because I'll talk about it and I'll show you some lessons from it over the next few days. In fact, what I'm going to do, I decided, is I'm going to point out at least 8 direct connections on how we created the conditions for these events that we are going through right now to happen. So you have a clear understanding, a clear cause and effect, and you understand how life works. So I created the wonderful conditions for that beautiful event of the mother building a nest to happen, but in the same way, in the same principle, we have also created the conditions for whatever we are going through now to happen. So remember, life is a karmic evolutionary event, and what we're going through now is also a karmic evolutionary event. And back to lesson 1, if you're going through a difficult time, keep going. Keep moving forward progressively, positively, peacefully, all the lessons that I've been sharing with you, and move forward to come out of this on a higher space. Why? Because you're getting some wisdom now, and wisdom is the stabilizer of life. Wisdom is that strong foundation you need. So start absorbing this wisdom and make wisdom your foundation and build your future on it. That's what we want to do. Make a foundation of wisdom, okay? Make wisdom your foundation and build your future on it. Wisdom is the stabilizer of life, and wisdom always wins. Vikas out. Bye now.